Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's installment of Layman's View, where we review a week that was. I'm Ntobeko Khuluse. I'm about to tell you about some of the biggest stories that stood out for me this week. But before I do that, let's make a deal. As I tell you the stories that stood out for me, please promise me that you will go into our comment section and share your thoughts and views on those stories. But also, if I'm not mentioning a story that stood out for you, please do tell us as well which story stood out for you. We really love reading your comments, thoughts, and views on everything that is happening in South Africa. It's podcast, radio, and stuff, and let's get on with it. One of the biggest stories for me that stood out this week, it has to be Busisiwe Mkhwebane leaving the EFF. I read the letter that Busisiwe Mkhwebane wrote to the CIC of the EFF, and I also watched a podcast interview with Sizwe Walsh, where she dropped this bombshell that she's now resigning from the EFF. And many people are speculating that Busisiwe Mkhwebane will now be joining the MK party because her husband, that is David Skosana, is a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. In fact, is an MP of Umkhonto weSizwe party. So I don't know if Busisiwe Mkhwebane will really be joining, that is advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, if she will really be joining the MK party or not. But what stood out for me from that letter that she wrote, and even the interview that she did with Sizwe Walsh, is that Busisiwe Mkhwebane is tired. She just seems tired. She seems tired of fighting because in that letter she says she wants to rest and spend some time with her family. And if you ask me, that makes sense. Guys, this is a lady that just lost 10 million rands. I know that this 10 million rands was not in her account, but it's money that she expected. Uyabona ulindele imali, uqala ubuplana ngayo. Ukuthi mangabe selifika leli 1000 rand engilindele, ngizokwenza ukuthi nokuthi. Uzutsheleka imali, uthi ngicela ungitsheleka u200 rand ngoba khona u1000 rand engulindele, ngizokukhokhela uma ngabe sengiyitholile. So uplana ngemali ungakayitholi ngoba uyazi ukuthi izofika. So uma ngabe ubuka indlela Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane has fought for the 10 million rands gratuity, you can see that this is money that she expected to get. And her lifestyle will be impacted because this money is not coming to her anymore. Her salary, she used to be a public protector, and she was making way more than what she's making as an MP. So her lifestyle is impacted. And she's been fighting politics. So when she says she just wants to rest, I believe her. I don't know. I really don't know if she will be joining the MK party or not. But I get it. I get it why she wants to rest. Politics has not been kind to her. Politicians have not been kind to her. So if I were her as well, I would just want to rest. Giphume with public eye. I think that's what she wants. But if you watch the interview that she did with Sizwe Walsh, she didn't say she won't join another political party. So she didn't close that door completely. So there is a possibility that she will still join the MK party, as many people are suspecting, but I don't think she will do it immediately. I think she just wants to stay away. Uyazazi lezi insuku uma ngabe ukuthi uphethwe stress, ufuna ukuhlala embedeni, uyimboze nje and just get better. Uvalela umhlaba ngaphandle. I feel like that's where Busisiwe Mkhwebane is. I feel like she just feels like, you know what, I just want to shut the world and just recover and just pull myself towards myself. Because that's how I'd feel. That's how I'm looking at it. So I know that many people might not be feeling sorry for Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane because they feel like she did this to herself. She should have just resigned. And some are saying, she was incompetent and she lost a lot of cases on her reports and all of that. That I understand. But I'm looking at it from a human element. As a layman, from a human element, I feel sorry for Busisiwe Mkhwebane. I truly do. I can't imagine how she's feeling right now. But she has left the EFF. Will she be joining the MK party? That's the question. Or will she really just take some time out and rest? Because if you watch the interview with Dr. Sizwe Mpofu-Walsh, she said she wishes she could work for the UN or the AU and just positively contribute towards human rights of Abantu, because that's what she's passionate about. But she said that door seems to be closed for her. What is she going to do now? That's the question. So what do you think Busisiwe Mkhwebane's next move will be? Is she going to be joining the MK party? Or do you think she's going to be doing something else? Contributing towards human rights? I don't know. But I would love to know your thoughts and views on that one. So that was a big story. And we are seeing a lot of high-profile politicians leave their parties, without joining the MK party. But they are known to be sympathetic to the former President Jacob Zuma. If you look at Busisiwe Mkhwebane, some are saying she's sympathetic to the former President Jacob Zuma. Remember Willis Mkhunu? Also left the ANC but did not join the MK. Is the MK just waiting for the right time? And when that right time comes, she will go and collect all of these people and say, come, join us. I don't know. But hey, please feel free to share your thoughts and views on this story. The next story that I'd like to touch on, just for your views, this is another political story that caught my attention, is the ANC celebrating 100 days of GNU. Oh, oops, they were not celebrating it, they were commemorating it. So that commemoration of 100 days of GNU. It was a big party outside Luthuli House. We saw President Ramaphosa addressing that event. Secretary General of the ANC, SG, that is, Fikile Mbalula was the MC. And we saw Panyaza Lesufi, because it was happening in Gauteng, and he's the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, welcoming the attendees of that event. It was an interesting event. Many people were asking themselves, why is ANC celebrating 100 days of GNU? They've never done this before. What is happening here? But for me, what was more interesting about that event than anything else was the absence of SACP and COSATU. So SACP was supposed to have a meeting with the ANC on the same day. But because there was going to be this celebration of GNU, SACP said, no, we don't want to be part of it. We want to be given enough time to raise our issues with GNU. But if we're going to have this meeting and soon after you are celebrating GNU, it seems like you are making our meeting a minor issue. That's what the SACP said. So their absence was noticeable. Also, Solima Paile fighting with Begim Dolo. In fact, it seems like everyone that is pro-GNU is attacking Solima Paile and Panyaza Lesufi. We saw the DA also attacking Panyaza Lesufi. So the celebration of GNU, while the ANC seems to be crumbling or fighting internally, was quite interesting for me. What did you make of that celebration of 100 days of the GNU? Some people are saying it's not the GNU, it's a coalition that is led by the ANC. Others are like, especially MK, I heard them when they were addressing the media. They are saying it's a coalition that is led by the DA. So the ANC is led by the DA in the GNU. What are your thoughts? I would really love to know your thoughts of the GNU after 100 days. My thoughts of the GNU, as long as the petrol keeps going down, as long as the interest rates keeps going down, as long as the food prices go down, as long as the service delivery, I'm talking about water, electricity, we have electricity, we get water when I open my tab, the potholes are being fixed, everything is functioning in South Africa, I'm happy. So currently things have been going well because it seems like they are, ministers are competing with each other. So I think the GNU is proving to be good for South Africa. And if things are just going to keep going in that direction, I'm happy. Like I said before, I will ask for the GNU in that voting booth. I will say, no, I don't want the ANC. I don't want the DA. I don't want IFP. I don't want MK. I want GNU. As long as the service delivery will be happening. So the jury is out on that one. It's only been 100 days. So let's wait and see what's going to happen within the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Or are they going to fight before then? I don't know. We'll wait and see if this GNU will remain stable. I'd love to know your thoughts and views on the 100 days of GNU. Are you happy with what GNU has been able to do? Or you think, no, not really? Please go ahead and share your thoughts. So those were the two political stories that I wanted to look at for this week. Another story that I would like to look at is Lusikisiki killing, that massacre that happened in Lusikisiki, where 18 people were killed in September in the Eastern Cape. So we saw now that there are seven suspects have been arrested in connection with that killing. And 3 of those 7 suspects appeared in court on Friday, which is really great to see that police have moved very fast. I've heard some experts in crime matters saying it seems like our intelligence system is working more effectively, because now police are able to close, or rather are able to catch criminals much faster. And if you ask me, it's also, I would agree with that, because look at how long it has taken the police to close, or to how long it took the police to arrest someone for the Senzo Meyiwa killing. But with these killings, they are really moving faster. So there seems to be some improvement. And we have to give credit where credit is due. We hope at some point that our police will be able to prevent crime from happening instead of, reacting after crime has taken place. Because, arresting the people that have perpetrated the crime is great, but that is after 18 lives have been lost. 18 lives. So we are hoping that our intelligence system will be able to report these crimes before they actually take place. So that's where we would like to get to. Yes, we are happy that criminals are being arrested, but let's arrest them before they commit the crime, while they are planning the crime. And that will happen once our intelligence is more effective. So we are hoping that we're going to get there. But kudos to the police for having done a brilliant job in catching these 7 criminals, or suspects who have allegedly killed the 18 people in Lusikisiki. So we will wait to see as that case unfolds to see, if they'll be found guilty and they'll be arrested. Now let's move on to the next story that's caught my attention, which is isilo samabandla inkosi Misuzulu KaZwelithini. Uqopha umlando ngokuba isilo sokuqala ukwethula inkulumo emcimbini ohlelwe iAfriforum. Lo mcimbi ububungaza inkosi uDinizulu, ilegacy yenkosi uDinizulu. So ngibilalelile ingxenye yenkulumo yesilo samabandla ongangezwe lakhe uMisuzulu lapho khona ebegqugquzela ukusebenzisana kweinhlanga ezihlukene ebala nokubaleka kokusebenzisana phakathi kwamaZulu kanye namabhunu. Bekuyinkulumo ebigqugquzela. Kodwa ke engifisa ukukubuza mina ngale nkulumo nokuattenda nje kwesilo samabandla. Ngibona abaningi ku social media bekhala ngokuthi isilo si-attende lo mcimbi noma sihloniphe lo mcimbi owenziwe iAfriforum. iAfriforum kuyinhlangano lena elwela amalungelo amabhunu isikhathi esiningi. So abanye kwi social media noma ngithi einkundleni zokuxhumana bebekhala kakhulu ngokuthi isilo sesingaze sihloniphe noma si-attende umcimbi owenziwe amabhunu. Angazi ukuthi wena ubona kanjani. Ngingathanda ukuzwa umbono wakho ngokuthi ucabangani ngokuthi isilo samabandla wonke inkosi Misuzulu ihloniphe lo mcimbi noma isimemo ya-attenda umcimbi obuwenziwe iAfriforum. I would really love to know your thoughts. So please go onto the comment section and share your thoughts on isilo Misuzulu KaZwelithini attending that event that was arranged by Afriforum. On Saturday, the 12th of October, we woke up to some sad news that Tito Mboweni is no more. So uTito Mboweni simazela into eyiningi. Abanye bamazi ngengoma kaCasper Nyovest ethi Tito Mboweni. Abanye bamazela ukupheka kwakhe okuncomekayo bese kubona ku Twitter ufish nokunye kodwa ke ufish abedume ngawo kakhulu. So abanye bamazela lapho ukuthi he's a Twitter chef. Kanti abanye bamazela umsebenzi omuhle awenza when he was a labor minister, where he introduced some progressive laws such as affirmative action. Abanye bazomkhumbula kwi-Reserve Bank when he was the governor of the Reserve Bank. Kanti ke abanye bazomkhumbula as a finance minister under President Cyril Ramaphosa. So he's someone that has done exceptionally well for himself, but also for the country. But what stood out for me was his modest house in Kilani, if I'm not mistaken, in Johannesburg. We've been seeing that house when, dignitaries, these big people were visiting the family. And you can tell that this is someone that has achieved so much, but he's still staying in a modest house. It's not a big mansion that is glamorous. It's a modest, it looked like an apartment to me, a modest apartment. Even Ngalengati, when he was taking pictures of his property or of his food, some people were making comments ngamapoto ayesebenzisa okukhombisayo ukuthi ubengayena umuntu obebheka kakhulu izinto ezimaterial, as much as he has achieved as a human being for himself and for the country, but ubengabhekile kakhulu izinto ezi-material ukuthi ngigqoka kanjani, ngihlala endaweni enjani, ngidrive imoto enjani. He didn't come across as that person, and that for me stood out, you know. So may his soul rest in peace. This is the former finance minister, Tito Mboweni. I will also like to pass my condolences to the family of the late Labour Minister, Membathisi Mdladlana, who passed away yesterday on Friday, the 18th of October. Membathisi Mdladlana was the Minister of Labour, and he stayed in that position for a very long time, from 1998 to October 2010. Then he also became the South African High Commissioner to Canada. This was from 2012. So may his soul rest in peace. It does seem like we are doing a lot of RIPs nowadays. But those were the stories that I wanted us to look at in this week's installment of Layman's View. Please do remember to subscribe, comment on these stories that we spoke about today, share this video, and like this video as well. You may join as a member. It only costs R9.99 to join as a member. Please do catch us tomorrow. Ntokozo Chapa and myself will be having a beautiful episode here on podcast, radio and stuff. I'm Ntobeko Khuluse. Have a great weekend.